So now we can discuss asynchronous data transfer. So what is asynchronous data transfer and what is synchronous data transfer? So in synchronous data transfer, suppose this is a sender and this is a receiver. In synchronous data transfer, both are connected with a common clock. That means when the sender want to send a data at a certain clock pulse, the receiver is ready for taking the data. That means both are connected with the same clock pulse. But in case of peripheral devices, all are used different clock pulse. That means in sender and receiver use different clock pulse. Suppose sender want to send the data but receiver do not know whether the data is sent or not. So there will be a mismatch between the sender and receivers. What is the difference between sender synchronous and asynchronous data transfer mode? In synchronous and transfer mode, the sender and receiver using the same clock pulse, and asynchronous data transfer mode, a sender and receiver are using a different clock pulse. So that means the speed of these devices are not same. In this scheme we use when speed of input output device does not match with the microprocessor. As we know that the microprocessor speed is higher than the input output speed, and timing characteristics are also different with the processor. This method of the process initiate a device to check the status. That means before transferring the data, the microprocessor or CPU have to check the status of the peripheral devices. As a result, CPU has to wait until the input output device is ready to transfer. So when the input output device is ready to transfer, only then the CPU can send the data to the input output devices. When the device is ready, is issue an instruction input output transfer. In this method, two types of technique are basically used. The first is the strobe control and second is the handshaking. What is the strobe control? The strobe control method of asynchronous data transfer employs a strobe signal control line to each time data transfer. The strobe may be activated by either a source or a destination unit. That means the sender and destination, the sender can initiate the strobe control signal to the destinations, strobe control signal to destination, or the destination can send the strobe control signal to the sender. So this is the data transfer initiated by the source unit. Here the source unit sends the data and send a strobe signals to the destination unit. This is the block diagram of the data transfer initiated by source unit. You can see that at first the data, if this is the timing diagram, the data is sending fast, then the strobe signal is initiated, and after that the strobe is end here, the signal is end here, and after that the data transfer is finished. So in the block diagram, the data bus carries a binary information from source to destination. Typically the bus has multiple lines of transfer, an entire byte or word. A strobe is a signal line that informs the destination unit with a valid data bit is what is available. That means the strobe actually inform the destination. In the data bus, a valid data bit is available please accept this data. In the figure B, the source unit just first place the data on the data bus, the information on the data bus and strobe signal remain in active state to allow the destination unit is receive the data. So in case of destination initiated, this is the source unit, is the destination unit. As you can see, the strobe signal is initiated by the destination unit and data is sent by the sender. So how is it work? In this method, the destination unit activate the strobe pulse to informing that the source to provide the data. Means when destination needs some data, it send a strobe signal to the source unit that the destination unit needs some data. The source will respond by the placing a request of binary information on the data bus. Then the source unit send the data through the data bus. The data must be valid and remain in the bus long enough for the destination unit to accept it. That means how much time the data will be sent until the strobe signal will be decreased. So what are the disadvantages of the strobe signals? The disadvantage of the strobe method is that the source unit initiate the data transfer has no way of knowing whether the destination unit is actually received the data or not, and that means whether the destination unit receive the data or not. The send unit just send the data through the data bus. Whether the data is corrupted or not, there is no information about these things, and there is no acknowledgement system. That means the data is received by the destination unit. It is not available in the strobe signal. Similarly, the destination unit initiate the transfer has no way of knowing whether the source unit actually placed the data on the data bus or not. That means whether the destination unit initiate a strobe signals, whether the appropriate sender, that means the particular sender, is sending the data to this, there is no prior information about this. This problem is solved using the handshaking method. What is handshaking method? The handshaking method solve the problem of strobe method by introducing a second control signal that provide a replay to the unit that initiate the transfer. So how the handshaking is works? So one control line in the same direction as the data flow in the bus from the source to destination. The second one, it used by source unit to inform the destination unit whether there is a valid data in the bus. The other control line in the other direction from the destination to source, it is used the destination unit to inform the source whether it can accept the data. The sequence of control during the transfer depends on the unit and initiate the transfer. In a block diagram, we will discuss these four possible steps. In this sequence of event of four possible status of the system, they can be given at a time. That means the first one, the source data initiate. This is the source initiate transfer using handshaking. As earlier, it is the source initiated. There are two types of handshakings are there. The first one is the source initiated handshaking and the second one is the destination initiated handshaking. The source unit initiate the data transfer by placing a data on the bus and labeling the data signals. The data accepted signals is activated by destination unit after it accepts the data from the data bus, and the source unit then disables the data accepting signal and the system goes into the initial state. So here you can see this is the source unit, this is the destination unit. In the source is placed the data on the data bus, and enables the valid data. After accepting the data from the data bus, enable a data accepted acknowledgement to the sender. Then the sender disable the valid data. That means At currently he is not sending any data, it is not sending any data and sent to the destination, and then when after receiving this message, the disable the data created and ready for the next data, and it is sent to the source. In the case of destination initiated after using handshaking, the name of the signal generated by the destination unit has been changed to the ready for the data to reflect the new meaning. The source unit in this case does not place the data bus until after it receives a ready for data signal from the destination unit. That means after receiving a ready signal, then the source can send the data or put the data on the data bus. From there on, the handshaking produced follow the same pattern in the source initiated case. The only difference is between source initiated and the destinations initiated transfer in their choice of the initial state. This is the destination initiated transfer using the handshaking. So this is the source unit and this is the destination unit. So here the destination start first, ready to accept the data, and it is sent to the sender. Then after receiving this message, ready to accept data, the source unit enable the data valid data, that means send the data to the sender. After accepting all the data, it's disable the ready for data and send to the source unit. Then after receiving this, after disable ready for data, it is disable the data bit, that means it seems that the destination unit received all the data successfully and is invalid the data on the bus. This is how the handshaking occur in the destination initiated transfer. That's all for today. Thank you.